it's not a real burger. It has beans, like something your mommy makes. Try it. Please. Just for me. No!
Alright, what do we got sauteing in here?
3 cloves of garlic and a half of an onion with a teaspoon of olive oil. For our black bean chickpea veggie burgers.
What do we got over there on the counter?
This bowl has mushrooms. When I put it in, you'll see it better.
Okay.
Mushrooms, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and then I'm gonna dice up some tomatoes. Tracy's here, our vegetarian friend.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Tracy.
And they were leftover beans, and I don't want them to go to waste.
Okay.
And all they are like a 1/4 cup of northern beans and a 1/4 cup of red beans, and I just want to throw them in so we don't waste it. And we're using canned beans because they are cheap and we can get a lot from them. I just poured half of a bell pepper, the rest of the mushrooms from the other night, which is probably about a cup or more, chop them up, and a couple of red pepper strips that we had left over. And we're going to just saute this down.
Extra virgin olive oil,
Well,
medium heat.
Right, only like a teaspoon of it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to chop up a couple of tomatoes because I want the tomatoes in the burgers just for some flavoring. I really like tomatoes, and I never really liked them until I started eating them from the garden, fresh. So, alright, I'm adding the diced tomatoes. These are little cherry tomatoes that I just diced up. There's probably about a good half cup, maybe 3/4 cup. And we'll just saute this a little bit more, and then that's it. And as I said, I never liked tomatoes. And I used to make Grandma Franny, my mother, pick tomatoes out, and I wouldn't eat the sauce and pick the tomatoes, and she'd be like, oh. So now there you go.
Now you cook all this until it's all soft and tender?
Just softened, like the onions are getting translucent, which means clear.
Translucent? Wow.
And really that's it. I'm probably going to just turn this off now.
And how many burgers would this make?
Oh my god, this is probably going to make a ton of burgers. We'll see. Because I opened 2 cans of beans, which the one can was 99 cents and the other can was like 65 cents. So, beans are cheap. And I know everyone says it's dry beans are cheaper because you can soak them and you can get more out of them, but canned beans are easier, and still, they're a very good source of what, Tracy? Protein. And we did rinse these beans because I like to rinse all my beans to get off if they have any extra salt on them or anything that was in the can. I like to rinse them.
I like my beans rinsed.
Yes.
Yes.
I just put
rinse them all the time.
There was 2 cans of beans in the strainer, and I just put 3/4 cup in the Cuisinart food processor. You can use a chopper. If you don't have that, you can mash them with a fork.
Or emulsifier, or a hand blender.
Right, hand blender, a blender.
A baggie and a hammer.
A baggie and a hammer, if you're desperate.
You want beans that badly.
We're just chopping these beans up. The bean mixture that is like spackle right now. About a 1/4 cup of oats, and I'm going to chop them so these are quick oats. Put the lid back on. And it just makes them very, very, very fine. So we could use it as a binder because very fine, see? Almost just like breadcrumbs. Just like. Now the mixture that we used, this with the tomatoes, onions, garlic. I'm putting half in the food processor, and then half, the rest is going whole into the bowl. We're going to chop it. Kind of looks like salsa. And it smells really good, and it's warm, so it's going to help kind of put everything together. Now these burgers are freezable. You put them on a piece of parchment paper on a cookie sheet after you make them, and put them in your freezer until they're frozen solid. Then take them off and put them in a baggie. This way, if you want to take one out, you could just take one out.
Alright, so right now you're mixing.
I'm just mixing that a little bit. I'm going to add cumin, about 2 pinches, 2 little pinches. And a little cumin. I'm not going to add any more salt because I put about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt when I was cooking. I just have all this stuff going overboard. So it's mixing together. It's very moist. Like I said, I was going to add an egg, but I really don't think we're going to, because when you put half of the tomato and onion mixture into the food processor, it gave off a lot of juice and water. So I don't think we're going to do that. And I'm going to put the rest of the beans in whole, because it's going to give it texture.
And when we made these over the summer, we had corn in it too.
Yes, but I don't have any corn.
Right.
That looks pretty good. I don't want to make it too dry. Alright, it might be hard to get out of this. I have it like all pressed in. So, here goes nothing. The burger sizzling away.
Oh, you flipped it.
I just flipped it.
And it came out nice. Look at that.
Got nice crusty
Cool.
crust.
She said, I don't like the burger.
Emma's trying the bean burger. She better like it. Yeah, good.
No, seriously, man, how is it?
Good.
Is it? Would you eat that for dinner?
That's
Bean down! Bean down! There's a bean down!
They're chicey.